You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tatah. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. Greetings. Welcome to Pan-African Daily TV tonight with Dr. Susan Tatah. And like we announced already, we have our PLO Foundation Mentees talk show, which is a permanent series that is going to be taking place on the Pan-African Daily TV. I hope all of you are connected because the mentees are already sitting here in the studio. What are we going to be discussing today with the mentees from the various continents of Africa where they're represented? We want to talk about the Pan-African Quiz 2024 competition, which is taking place exactly on this coming Saturday. So how prepared are the mentees? What is it that they expect of the quiz? What is it that you also, as the people that will be rating them, voting them for competition, how are you going to be able to participate? How can you be a part of this project? That's what we'll be discussing tonight, live on the Pan-African Daily. And I want to welcome all of you that are joining this show for tonight. Whether you're watching us from anywhere around the world, please just indicate in the chat. Remember, when you have questions, you can also drop them in the chat and we bring it live in the conversations for everyone to see. So this show is going to take us approximately 2 to 3 hours because we have a lot of mentees right here. So we're going to be taking them one after the other so that we can accommodate them on the platforms which we are streaming. So, but I want to thank all of you that are watching. Let me know if you can see us, if you can hear us, if the sound is okay, if the lighting is okay, because here in the studio, everything is very fine with us, but probably on some parts, people keep complaining. And so, Majak, can you see us, Majak? Majak, where are you watching us from? Because even though we have close to 30 that are watching, but right here, I can only see a few. Sorry, Ranga is watching us from Durban, South Africa. Thank you very much. Is the sound and the audio and everything clear? Just indicate by where you're watching us and what your expectations for today is. So, like I said, the program that we're going to be working on today, I can already show you, is this. This is our topic for today, the PLO Lumumba Foundation Mentee Series Part 1. And we want to talk about the updates on the upcoming Pan-African Quiz 2024, which is apparently taking place this Saturday, okay? So you're going to be very, very active, engaging, participating. So to be able to vote who is going to go, which country chapter of the PLO Lumumba Foundation is going to go home with a trophy, right? And we have a lot of participants all around the continent. This is just a preview of the show. And this show is going to be taking place every Thursday, particularly on Pan-African Daily TV. So it's not only about the quiz that is coming up. Even after the quiz, we're going to continue this series on Youth in Focus. Youth in Focus, we're going to be touching the voice of youth all around the world. African youths, whether you are in Asia, or you're connecting in Europe, or you're connecting in America, or you're connecting in the Caribbean, or on Motherland. This is going to be your show where you express yourself about the expectations that you expect to see happen in the Africa we want, but also what is your contribution? So we're going to be talking about on youth and focus and youth and migration. Why are African youth leaving the continent of Africa? If you have an experience to share, you can equally share with us. And we're also going to be connecting the diaspora, those in the diaspora. Why are they staying in the diaspora instead of coming back to build the Africa that we want? So all this perspective, we're going to really focus on youth in every country. So the next point we're going to be talking on Youth in Focus is we want to actually know the youths that are on the continent that are saying, you know what, come rain, come sun. I love my continent. I love my country enough, so much to leave. So no matter what, Africa is the best place for me to stay. So we're also going to be having such influencers, bloggers, YouTubers, and every other person that is connected, on Youth in Focus. So if you are a youth, Nora is connected, and Nora is a quiz participant from the Ghana chapter. So please welcome with me, Miss Nora. This powerful queen is here, and princess. These are the ones that we look forward that are going to be rocking the continent of Africa in just a couple of years to come. So while we are mentoring these ones, training them, empowering them, building up their muscles, to take over the next generation of what we're going to see as the Africa we want, more would be joining us on this conversation. So thank you and welcome, Nora. And we have the country chairman of the PLO Lumumba Foundation, of course, who is here. I mean, we all know this genius, you know, Mr. Razak Awudu. He's the country coordinator, not country coordinator, the Africa chair for PLO Lumumba Foundation based in Ghana, the capital, where he is the one actually putting all the PLO Lumumba Foundation mentees program in collaboration with Pan-African Daily TV, and also all the educative programs that they carry on and on in the foundation. So, like we said before, if you're interested to join the PLO Lumumba Foundation, which is already operating all over the continent of Africa, please make sure you are going to be sending us an email tonight where we're going to connect you. All right. Welcome, Mr. Chair. I'm also going to add, because you're so many, I'll be taking the ones that are actually already visible on camera. So we have Anthony. Anthony is a mentee from Zambia chapter, who is also connecting with us here. And so Anthony, Anthony is our guest tonight as a mentee. We're going to find out if he's going to be a participant in the quiz or not. I think the chairperson is here that will coordinate us in that. So I think the three participants that we have now, because there are a lot of them in the chat, I can bring them on at the same time. We're going to start up naturally at the conversation tonight while we would be bringing in more subsequently. Okay, let me see if we can get one other mentee here. Okay, I think we can also manage to. All right. I'm so sorry. Just a little bit. Mm. So, greetings to everyone that is joining this conversation. Today, we are talking about the PLO Lumumba Mentee talk show, which is going to be currently coming up every time on the Pan-African Daily TV. Thank you, Mr. Paul Brown. I was muted. I'm so sorry. I don't know how it happened, but these things occur. So I want to open up the floor by giving the microphone. I'm handing the microphone to the chair to welcome his audience and the mentees and tell us what is going to be happening here today. So over to you, Mr. Razak. Please kindly unmute and you have the floor.
Thank you very much,
Go ahead,
Dr.
Razak.
Susan.
Mhm.
And yes, let me also take the PLO Foundation in Africa and the diaspora, especially the participants who will be participating in the quiz come Saturday. The quiz competition is being organized for all mentees of the foundation in Africa and the diaspora. This year edition will be joined by participants from 12 chapters. We have participants from Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Cameroon, Uganda, Rwanda, and other chapters in Africa. We are starting on the 8th of June, this Saturday. This Saturday, we will have the Group D and the Group C competing. So participants from Ghana, Gambia, and Cameroon in one group, and then participants from Uganda, Zambia, and Sierra Leone in another group. So they will compete in the afternoon session, and then Ghana, Gambia, Cameroon will compete in the morning session. The areas for the quiz will consist of Pan-African history of Africa, including our ancient empires and civilizations, as well as the political history of Africa, and also the Agenda 2063, which is the Africa we want, and also we will have a bit of questions coming from the OA blocks, as well as the agenda of African unity since 1950s, 1940s to 1960s. So we encourage all mentees to participate in the quiz by joining the platform on Facebook. They can follow the quiz at the Pan-African TV on Facebook. They can follow the quiz at the PLO Lumba Foundation on Facebook, as well as the YouTube pages.
Wait. You already understand and anticipate that there's going to be a lot of challenges here in the studio, particularly because we're connecting many youths across Africa. There are more than 30 of us right here in the back studio here. I don't even know how we're going to manage it. Most of them, they hear us, their cameras, their videos, and also the lagging, like we already see. The chairman, Razak, who is connecting from Ghana, and we know Ghana and its problem and it's challenging out there. So please don't be don't worry if you see Razak is struggling. So Razak, can you hear us? Can you see hear us? Please kindly unmute. Razak. Okay. So I will hand off, I'll just go directly to Nora. Okay, you see the camera is already is his connection is very bad out there in Ghana. Nora, can you unmute?
Yes, Susan. Can you hear me clearly, please?
Yes, 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 my queen. Yes, my princess. Yes, the beautiful one, you know. Okay, so how are you, Nora? Who are you? Can you just introduce yourself and what you'll be expecting coming Saturday as a quiz participant? How prepared are you? What topics have you been working on? And yeah, over to you,
Right.
Nora.
Thank you very much. And I want to thank you so much also for the introduction. That was lovely. You're very warm. Thank you. So, my name is Nora Anido Holali. I am a participant for the upcoming quiz competition. Fortunately or unfortunately, our session is this 8th June, that's this Saturday. So I have about 2 or 3 days and then the quiz is live. I am a member of the PLO Lumumba Foundation and I volunteer as the head of finance for the Ghana chapter. Can you hear me clearly, please?
Yes, we do, but I think your microphone you can really adjust it a little bit because
Okay.
we're struggling.
Is it better?
Yes, that's much better. Go ahead.
Okay. I think my hair is interfering. So I was
Don't
saying that
worry.
my name, okay. So I was saying that my name is Nora Holali Amidoho, and then I did comment the way you introduced, everybody, and the way you introduced me. I mentioned that you were really warm. Thank you so much for that. So I volunteer with the finance team. I am the head of finance for the PLO Lumumba Ghana chapter, and I am a quiz participant as well. Unfortunately or fortunately, our session is on 8th June. So I have my team and I have roughly 2 or 3 days to prepare, and then we are going against Group B, as Radak mentioned. So some of the topics we've been studying are the African Union, the Agenda 2063, and then African history, and Pan-African history, and then the advent of civilization in Africa. So yes, those are some of the topics we have been studying, and preparation is good.
Wow. I mean, the minister and the ministry and the ministeress of finance for the Africa we want at the Ghana chapter. Please welcome this beautiful queen and princess right here. I'm so happy that you are taking all the initiative, to back up this your peers out there. And I trust you, Nora, that you're doing an incredible job. Okay. Thank you so very much
Thank
for
you
your
very much.
beautiful smile. Yes, just stay on. I want to talk to Anthony. Anthony, you are a mentee from the Zambia chapter. Zambia chapter? Yes. Unmute, please, Anthony, and let us hear from you.
Yes, Doc. Thank you so much for having me here, Dr. Susan. And yes, my name, as it can be seen on the screen, is Anthony Msenkwire, and my mid name, which I love most, is Chive Sakunda, which belonged to my late grandmother. It's a loyal title of the Visa-speaking people here in Zambia, and I must say it's really amazing to be part of the PLO Lumumba Foundation as a mentee. Since I joined in 2019, just as a member of the PLO Lumumba Foundation, and now I am proud to say I am a provincial coordinator in the Copper Belt province, and I'm helping also to bring as many young people as possible to ensure that we form or we grow the PLO Lumumba Foundation, so to say. And with regards to the quiz, I cannot wait. I would really like to learn as much as I can about my history, the African history, and also to see what type of questions will be asked with regards to Agenda 2063. And much more important, I think, is on, I don't know why questions on on knowing thyself, I don't know how they are going to come, but I remember when we were commemorating the Africa Union Day, Dr. Susan Tatah, you did mention on the need as young people to know thyself. So in as much as the totality of the quiz is about knowing ourselves, I would like to to see one or two questions on how we can know ourselves as young Africans. And we've been, me and of course my other partner, who I believe should be joining us. We have tried to prepare as much as we can, looking at the pre-colonial history, looking at kingdoms, civilizations, learning one or two things, as well as looking at the Africa political history, looking at colonialism, the political figures, our forefathers that helped in regaining the independence, and of course other topics like neocolonialism and many other topics. So I cannot really wait to participate in this quiz. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say we have our professor in the background, and she's the one that is assessing you, listening to you. And she is the queen of Know Thyself. Professor Baina Bello is the queen mother of Africa in 80. So a question is also coming up in the revolution, in the Haitian revolution, and so that you can connect the dots of your liberators and champions and Pan-African forefathers and foremothers from the continent of Africa and Africans worldwide, their history. So Queen Mother by Professor Baina is here not just because of the Haitian history, but she is my mentor. She is my mentor, and this program is so important to her for how we can empower you, the young people, with the knowledge that you need, the tools and the equipments that you need through education, like what the PLO Lumumba Foundation is doing, and also the Friends of Baina, and also Pan-African Daily TV and other initiatives that are coming up. So she's right here in the chat, and she welcomes you, and she's listening. You know, she's really amazed that you're coming up by yourselves. And so whatever challenge that you would have, she would be the one. But just like know that you have a Professor Mentee, who is my mentee. She's also going to be, you know, checking on how I work with you. And then the feedback would actually come on how we can, you know, after the conversation. So thank you very much, Anthony Chibesi Kaunda Musikwenli. Thank you for honoring your grandmother and taking the name of your grandmother. There's nothing that we can really, even Nora, I'm so sorry. I have to learn how to pronounce your other names well, but we are going to get right there. So thank you. That was a very warm one. I want to come back to the chairperson who was actually breaking down the structure of what is going to be happening in this Pan-African quiz on Saturday. Unfortunately, he was kicked out. So over to you, Mr. Awudu Razak, the chairman and the coordinator for the PLO Lumumba Foundation in Ghana. I want to also welcome your viewers in the Elvesta Toba, watching us from Banda chapter of the PLO Lumumba Foundation, and all other youths that are connecting, and elders and senior and the middle class that are actually here to assess your knowledge and how you are taking over the continent and how you have been following all the teachings on Pan-African Daily and whether you're mastering that or not. So over to you, Razak, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Susan. And I must apologize. I had one or two issues with my network, but I think it has been resolved now. So, like I was saying, the quiz will start on Saturday, the 8th of June, 2024. The first event, which is a morning session, will be competed by Gambia, Ghana, and Cameroon. It will start at exactly 9 o'clock a.m. GMT, Ghana time. Gambia, Ghana, and Cameroon, which is the morning session. The afternoon session will be competed by participants from Sierra Leone, Uganda, and Zambia, which will start at exactly 1 o'clock p.m. GMT. 1 o'clock p.m. GMT. So that is the 8th of June. The following week, which is 15th of June, we will have the Group A and B competition. The morning session, which is Group A, will be Kenya, Somalia, and Greater Sudan. Don't forget, Greater Sudan is a combination of North and South Sudan. We at the foundation, we have merged North and South Sudan, and we refer to them as Greater Sudan. So Kenya, Somalia, and Greater Sudan will compete in the morning on 15th June. In the afternoon session, we will have participants from Rwanda, Liberia, and Nigeria. Rwanda, Liberia, and Nigeria, who will compete at exactly 1:00 p.m. GMT on the 15th. At the end of the group stage events, we are expecting to have 8 chapters who will qualify to the quarterfinals. So each group will produce 2 chapters after the competition. So overall, we are expecting to have 8 chapters to qualify to the quarterfinals in all. The quarterfinals will be a 1 versus 1 competition. So there will be a balloting in which a chapter will be balloted to face another chapter in a one-on-one versus in a one-on-one competition. So after the end of the quarterfinals, we will have 4 chapters qualifying to the semifinals and 4 chapters being eliminated. So the semifinals will be competed by 4 chapters who have qualified from the quarterfinals. In the semifinals, all the 4 semifinalists will compete together. They will compete, and 3 out of the 4 will qualify to the finals. So 1 will be eliminated from the semifinals. In the finals, which will be held physically in Kenya, Nairobi, this year in November, 3 finalists will compete for the first position, second, and third positions, respectively. So that will be for the finals, which will come off in November this year. The role or the objective of the quiz is to equip our mentees with core Pan-African knowledge and ideals, information that has been hidden for long. So we are expecting our participants to dig deep, to learn about the history of Africa, to learn about the information that our forefathers were using, to learn about the great civilizations that existed before colonization, to learn about the current issues in Africa, to learn about the formation of Africa's first organization, which is the OAU, and also to learn about current Pan-Africanists who are spearheading the unity of Africa, including Professor Lumumba, Dr. Susan, yourself, Mr. Joshua Maponga, and other Pan-Africanists who are contributing their quota to the Africa we want. To the audience, they should expect a fierce competition from all participants who will be participating. All the participants are ready and they are eager to compete. I can assure you that most of the chapters, since the time that we announced the quiz, have devoted several hours, several days to learn the quiz content. So they are ready for the quiz come Saturday. And we are also ready to organize our second edition of the Pan-African Quiz competition, which will be telecast live on Pan-African Daily TV, PLO Lumumba Foundation Facebook page as well. So I will urge all participants to keep on rehearsing, to keep on studying the content documents, to keep on learning about Africa. All the questions are ready. All the questions are set for Saturday. We will have 3 rounds. Round 1 will be speed test. The speed test will be completed by all the chapters. Round 2 will be true or false session, and round 3 will be short answers. We are ready to host the participants, and we can assure them that it will be a rewarding venture for them to participate in. At the end of the competition, they will be better than they were before the competition. They will have learned more about Africa, and of course, we also have several prizes for all the participants. Every participant will be issued with a certificate of participation, which will be signed by Professor Lumumba. The winner will be rewarded with cash prize, same as the first runner-up and the second runner-up. All the participants will be given souvenirs. And this is not the only event that you have this year. As you mentioned, Dr. Susan, earlier, several events and activities are in the pipeline. For example, the Mentees talk show at the Pan-African Daily TV will be a series program. So this is the first time we will have several events before the year ends. And in November, we will have the PLO Africa Mentorship Conference in Kenya, Nairobi, which all mentees will be attending. It will be a mega conference to engage with our mentees, to engage with our mentors, our partners, and our founder. So as a foundation, we are committed to nurture the potentials of young Africans in Africa and the diaspora. All young Africans in Africa are welcome to join the foundation. This is one of our activities, the Pan-African Quiz competition, which is meant to promote Africa in Africa and the diaspora. Africa will be great again, now and forever. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you. And hand of applause, of course, from all the mentees. Thank you so very much. I mean, if you have a powerful chairman like that, what else do you need? What else do we want? I also want to thank the audience, via John Africa, WS Banker, and David Wayne. All your audience is here, empowering and supporting you. They're looking forward to hear from you. And this is the first time that we're going to do this quiz. Cheryl, Queen Sister Cheryl, all these are the mentors that are in the background that are really looking forward to see you pick up the mantle and roll and move across with it. But like I said, you have a lot of senior mentees in the background that are observing you, are following you up, and are ready to actually take you to the next level of your engagement on the continent of Africa. So thank you so very much, Mr. Chairman. Because of the hinges and the in and come out, and I know most of you young people are using your gadgets to actually be live here, which is not easy. I'll just be giving all of you the space for you to introduce yourself and just move on. So I want to go to our quiz participants from Cameroon, Nchuka Jethro. If you can unmute, Nchuka. Yes, over to you.
Good evening.
Sorry, you're on mute again. Unmute, Jethro. Yes, thank you. Over to you.
Okay, good evening, Suzanne. Good evening, Africa, and good evening to all those who are following life, being it in the diaspora or you are in the continent. And equally good evening to all other participants. I am Chunka Jethro from the Republic of Cameroon. I think it's a privilege and an honor to go to see that I get to go through this quiz, and not just for the quiz, but entirely to understand Africa as a whole, and equally help in sensitizing our youths and my peers on the need for them to stay in the continent so that we could build it together. Where we see the United States today, it is because their youth stay back and they've helped in contributing in building it. Where we admire, or what we admire, the countries we admire, it was being constructed by their youth. So I think it is our duty and our right as youths of the continent to see how we get to build it. We get to build a continent, to place it in the map, as entertainers will always say.
Wonderful, Jethro. Thank you so very much. I mean, that's really the key point. Everyone is noting. Queen Zenobia, Professor Baina, Cheryl, David, all of you, Mr. Paul Brown, all of you, you're noting. And please, in case you have any questions or any feedback, you'll just be pushing your questions and I'll be bringing on. So thank you very much, Mr. Chunta. He made a very clear point. The objective is for him to be here to learn the opportunities that are available to them, and to also encourage their peers and their generation that staying on the continent is very essential to move the continent forward. That every places that the Africans are running to was constructed by their young people. I mean, that's so very powerful. It can never even be said again over and over. So thank you very much for that. I'm going to go to Armstrong Azumbil. Please unmute. I don't know whether you're a participant, a mentee, from what chapter. So Armstrong, you're going to introduce yourself and tell us about you. Over to you, Armstrong. Can you hear us, Azumbil? Just go ahead.
All right. Azumbil Armstrong. I'm a participant from Ghana.
Okay.
First of all, reading from the Christian's Bible, Luke chapter 2, verse 25. There was a priest who said, "Now I can die because I have seen Jesus Christ." So many years ago, it was my dream to meet Dr. Susan Tatah. And today has been that day. So I'm more than the word glad and happy. I have followed her for more than 4 years since 2020, the first PLO Lumumba Foundation quiz was organized. I'm really happy this evening. And I will appeal that after this, I will try to get access to you through Mr. Razak, my former country director. Echoing back from the speech of Dr. Martin King Luther Jr. in 1963, when he was delivering his speech, "I have a dream in Mississippi, United States of America." He said, and I quote, "I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together." Since 2017 that I joined PLO Lumumba Foundation when I was a college student, Professor has made me more African than I was. And I believe after this competition, I will continue to be more African than I am today. When I was young, I had that vision that I'll go to Canada, I'll go to Canada. So those that knew me used to call me the Canadian burger. But today, I have the dream that one day I'll go to Kemet, which is Egypt, the ancient nation, which is the cradle of humanity and civilization. Professor made it known to me that Africa is the source of everything Europe needs. And reading from the Pan-African Congresses that were organized from 1920s to 1950s, it was a foundation or a stepping stone to train and mentor people like Nkrumah, Sekou Toure, Agostinho Neto, among other great people to stand firm and liberate Africa from the then colonization, imperialism, and whatever form of foreign atrocities that was done to this country and Africa as a whole. Today, this quiz, of which I've ever participated, is another stepping stone for us Africans, the young and those who are willing and ready to really liberate Africa from its forms of neocolonialism, bigotry, tribalism, corruption, religious naivety, among any other thing that try to hinder and limit us from achieving our goal. So I'm very glad today. Reading from the Civilizations, Pan-African History, the Pan-Africanist, Agenda 2063 with the vision of Africa we want, I really believe that Professor Lumumba, Dr. Susan Tatah, among other contemporary Pan-African mentors, will elevate us to the point in which the next generation will write our names down on currencies, books, historical journals, that these were the people mentored by a professor, and we will also help liberate our country once more. Because of that, I thank you, Doctor.
Wow. Thank you so much. Through the teachings and the quotations, he has come to know more of himself being African, and he wishes that through the quiz competition, he's going to learn even more, because like the curriculums on the continent of Africa were actually Eurocentric or Euro-Asian centric. So most Africans, or I can say basically all, actually never understood what it meant them to be as Africans, even though they were on the continent of Africa. So it is very imperative, and we really thank your feedback on that. And exactly, that's the point, and that's the objective of this quiz here. Thank you so very much. I would like to go to Abbas. is a quiz participant from Sierra Leone chapter. Please, Abbas, unmute, and yes, let's go.
Greetings, everybody. Good evening to everybody from all parts of Africa. My name is Abbas Blah, and I'm a participant from Sierra Leone. You know, one of the greatest things we need to ask ourselves as Africans is, will Africa still remain Africa if the Africans are to leave Africa? This is a question we should be asking ourselves. And reminiscing to the past experiences of Africans, you will have to find out that we have gone through several constraints, several sufferings. And some of us that are born in this modern era, we do not know what really happened in the past. What is Africa all about? Unless we have to give a throwback to history. And this quiz will serve as a throwback to us. We'll have to learn about what happened. What are the great things, the great kingdoms we have all been hearing about, the tales about Africa. I mean, it is of great essence for us all to get a good and proper understanding about this Africa we are living in. And the PLO Lumumba Foundation, of course, this quiz will help several students cut across Africa and beyond. And for me personally, I hope to see the best, and not only to participate, but to learn what is the essence of being an African. What are the things? How has Africa evolved over the past years? These are some of the things we need to take into consideration. And if we might take it into consideration, then I think there will be hope for Africa. And I am sure that Africa will have a hope. I will tell you this, it is better said to do something than to say it. And I think if we've gone through this particular quiz, at the end of the day, Africa might have hope, in which I believe Africa will surely have hope. Thank you very much. This is my own perspective on this.
Woo! Now, this is the time. This is the time you know that the firebrand on the continent is not a joke. And I think you in the diaspora, we've been yearning for this. I know the mothers on the continent in the diaspora is just yearning to understand if you can hear us, if you can see us, if you are ready to move with us to the next level. And what we hear from you, we're so impressed. We're so impressed. And we're going to continue to be on that battlefront until we take back the Africa that belongs to us. Not just the Africa, our minds, our minerals, our resources, our possessions, our blessings, our everything in Africa. The what you want, you have to see as soon as possible. So thank you so very much, Baz. And I'm bringing Comrade Molunda. Comrade Molunda, please, can you unmute from the Zambia chapter? And the floor is yours, Comrade. Go ahead.
Good evening, Dr. Hope I'm audible enough. Hey, bye. Good evening.
Greetings. Good evening.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Greetings from Zambia, Lusaka. My name is Kerias Mulonda. I'm the Deputy Country Director for PLO Lumumba Foundation Zambia chapter. And of course, it gathers my heart that I'm here this evening, of course, with a view to interact with other fellow Africans, both within and outside. It's important to appreciate and recognize the presence of our African Mentorship Programs Coordinator, Comrade Razak. I recognize you, and also I do recognize the presence of you, Dr. Susan Tatah. It's great of the umbrella of our Panafricanism, and we hope the current generation, but also it will equip the generation to be born and yet to continue to come. So we humbly appreciate the fact that this brings to us, especially in terms of networking with other fellow Africans outside and in the diaspora. We'll be connected to one another in the spirit of Ubuntu, because we believe that I am really a human being through the humanity of other human beings, so that the sort of things we are being brought together under the umbrella of Ubuntu philosophy. So gratitude and the gratitude are to be sent to the PLO Lumumba Foundation, not only in Zambia, not only Ghana or Cameroon or one, but everywhere, both in and outside. One is to be humble and of course remain until the end of the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Of course, yes, we just pray that we're going to have you until the end of the program, because I see most of you, honestly, even a lot in the chat, just struggling. Their devices are being kicked up. Their audios are very choppy and really bad. But it's, of course, what is more important, we already know it. Thank you, Mini Kita. We already know that we are not here for any pleasantry. We are not here as superstars to display, our beauty or anything, or being celebrities. We are here for the message of the liberation of the African. So once we get the message, it's very important. It's not the messenger, but the message is the most important. So regardless of how our technique or whatever is reacting, we already know the spirit that guides us here on the Pan-African Daily, and nothing is going to stop us. Very important is the message that you're sending out. And Comrade Mulonda, we heard you perfectly well. Partly we're losing it, but at least you were giving credit to the quiz, and you also were not saying just only on the behalf of Lusaka, Zambia, but on the entire continent and the youth of Africa and in the diaspora, why it is necessary that we have to be a part of this agenda. So we thank you so very much. You were very clear and articulate on what you want, what you think the quiz is going to bring to you. And you also appreciated the initiative of Professor PLO Lumumba through his foundation and other mentors around across the globe that is helping to push you and to empower you further. So thank you very much. I think that was very correct. I see Ghana chapter is here, but each time I bring you live on the show, Ghana chapter, can you unmute, sir? Can you unmute? I cannot see your name. So SATA.
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear.
Okay. Go ahead, my brother.
It's clear.
Can you speak? Can you hear us?
Yeah. It's
Okay, I think we'll have to come back to that. Razak, let me just touch base with you again. You talked about the different sectors, the categories. How did you come to choose the particular? Of course, I mean, I was part of it, but I'm just like, you have to, inform the audience. Like, you're not telling me what we did, but can you actually just talk about the sectors and the chapters that we took and how we formulated the questions, depending on what we want the youth to be learning at this point in time? Razak.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Susan. So the selections were based on chapters that were ready to compete in this year's competition. Of course, we were ready to have more chapters to participate, and however, 12 chapters that will be participating this year were already prepared. The competition is very important, so chapters that were not very much prepared decided to opt for next year. So out of that, the over 36 chapters in Africa, 12 are ready for this year. However, the other chapters that are not participating will be also engaged in several activities this year. For example, last month we had the African Day seminar, which was attended by over 200 participants and also followed by over 1,000 mentees on Facebook in Africa and also in the diaspora. So the group stages were done by balloting. We had a balloting session somewhere last 2 weeks in which the chapter leaders were asked to choose cities in Africa which were assigned or aligned to their group. So, for example, Some chapter leaders chose Cairo, some chose Banjul, some chose Dakar, some chose Kinshasa, in that order. So after selecting the city, then the moderator will display which city is aligned to which group. So that was how we did the group stages balloting. So after the balloting, and then we have to schedule the group events in phases, so that we can give more time for the participant to prepare in advance in order to put up their best. So the group stages were scheduled with group D and C to compete on 8th, and then group A and B to compete on the 15th of June. So after the group stages, we will give the qualified quarterfinalists about 2 weeks to also prepare to compete in the quarterfinals. Then after the quarterfinals, we also give the qualified semifinalists about a week to prepare before they compete. So the quiz will travel about a month or a month and a half, so that we can have more time to prepare, because the documents that we are studying or the participants are expected to study is quite a lot. Since Africa, we have more information which has been hidden for some time now. So we have to allow the participant to explore as much as possible, to learn what they can learn, to learn more about Africa. So we have more time for them to prepare and to learn, for them to compete during the quiz. Thank you.
Sorry, this is very important. As to the criteria, I'm saying because a lot of young people are watching us right now, and to be able to understand, because some will just be like, how come we didn't know? And how did you choose some and not choose some? And why are some countries participating in some sectors? But like Razak said already, they're going to be in phases. This is just the series 1 on it. But every Thursday on Pan-African Daily TV, we're going to get this youth in focus, not only from the PLO Lumumba mentees, but youths are actually going to occupy this space to tell us what they need and what they've been doing, what they know now, and what they need to know to take them further. So it's going to be a permanent program here on the Pan-African Daily TV. So talk about the meeting, the face-to-face. I'll come back to the participants again. Please just stay here. Talk about the face-to-face meeting, because that one is where I think even the diaspora or sponsors and supporters are really looking forward, to be able to present the prizes as well. Because right now, as a point of concern, we're still looking for sponsors to be able to give out the different categories of the prizes. We'll come back to that next week. Today, we were just talking about the first part before it starts on Saturday. So just tell me about the November session where all of us are going to meet in Kenya, because that one we already have to start. We're preparing for it now to get more than 1 million participants from all around the world, Africans, to meet in Kenya, November 2024. So please, audience, as you're hearing me, if you need a ticket, you need an invitation letter, you need whatever you need to process to be at that conference in Kenya, we're mobilizing at least 1 million participants of youth around, particularly on the continent, to meet in Kenya in November 2024. Please, over to you, Razak.
Thank you very much, Dr. Susan. Yes, so the foundation has a program called PLO Africa Mentorship Conference, which seeks to collate all mentees in Africa and the diaspora at one venue, one physical location, to engage with our mentors, to network as mentees, to interact and share ideas on how to contribute our quota to our country, to our community. So we meet to share our projects as young people, and then we also discuss what we have.
Okay. Thank you. Let me just go back to Chibesa, Kaunda. Unmute, please, while we are giving Mr. Razak reconnect back here because we have to reboot him and bring him back on the show. So you've been listening to your chairman of the entire PLO Lumumba Foundation, and what have you been picking from him? What are the steps that you say, I'm so inspired and I'm going to stay on this journey?
I can barely get you, Dr. Susan.
All right. I was like, you listened. Did you follow up the conversation or the explanations of your chairman, Mr. Razak? Did you listen to him?
Yes, I did, Doc. I did.
Okay. So what is your feedback on that?
Yeah, my feedback would be, I think it's a great idea that there is a time when, as young people, we are called together to interact, as stated by the chairman, where we will not only listen to our mentors, but also have that time to be able to interact with our fellow mentees, because that way it will bring about the unity that we seek as people of Africa, and seeing that we are coming from different cultures. At the end of the day, we need to meet in person, be able to exchange one or two things, and see how we move forward as one people, as Africans. Because at the end of the day, if we just keep on having conferences online, if we keep on talking to one another online and there are no physical meetings, it will be hard, because there's always a difference when you meet online and when you meet in person. So I think it is a good initiative, and I've watched one or two conferences, and I would I've always admired to be part of such conferences. So I don't know how possible it will be for me here in Zambia, but I would really love to be part of the conference come November 2024. So it's a good initiative, and it will see us young people moving forward together.
Thank you. Wonderful. The chairman is back right in place. Thank you for your feedback. Razak?
Yes,
I think
Dr.
you're still
Susan.
busy looking at something. Abbas? Yes, just hold on. Abbas, I want to come back to you. What is your feedback on what the chairman was saying? I mean, in terms of networking and connecting all of you together, like Anthony is saying, we come from different cultures. You don't even know the history of Zambia. He doesn't know the history of Sierra Leone, or we don't know the history of the continent. And you know, the history we're studying is the ancient history of why, when we were one Africa, and how we have to be that one Africa again, a borderless Africa. So what the PLL Lumumba Foundation is doing on the Africa We Want is to tear down those boundaries that are separating us Africans in our minds, and to understand that we can network, collaborate as one people, one country, one nation, one culture, one spirituality. So, Abbas, you heard the chairman. What is your feedback?
Thank you very much, Dr. Susan Tatah. I would say there is no white Africa, there is no European African, there is no Asian African, but there are people, especially we the Black people from Africa. And basically, networking us throughout this Africa continent is a very much brilliant idea, because at the end of the day, I would have to know that, yes, despite the different cultures, despite the traditions, despite the languages, we are still Africans. And as Africans, unity is what we need. I'll tell you this for free. There is no place you go that you cannot be able to see unity and expect that particular continent to grow. It takes unity. Yes. That is why if you give a reference to the United States of America, it is not called America, but the United States of America. Despite their ups and downs, but they are still united. And I think that is what Africa needs. For instance, let me say, even as I'm in Sierra Leone, as I speak to you now, it is of essence for me to know what really it is meant to be for me to be. It is the responsibility of African to care for one another. And I think this quiz will not only serve as a competition, it will also serve as a means, like I said in my last speech, as a remnant for us to know the different roots. All Africa needs to be united. The diaspora being involved in this particular seminar, conference, or quiz, I would say, it is of essence because they too need to know their roots, where they are coming from. Africa is a very broad place. We cannot be segregated at this point in time. And I think quiz like this is what we need to be united.
Wow. Thank you so very much. I mean, I'm like charged up, and I know everyone is charged up when you hear this brain speaking. I mean, this is not the dumb brains that they show you on all kind of crazy medias out here as if they're beggars. Do you look at them as one? So that's the point. That's the power that we're talking about. This agenda of One Africa is not going to be just a speaking agenda anymore. Like we said, we had time to put these structures in place, and we're still working on them, but we're already showing you the baby foot, the baby steps. So it is time for all of us to come together. The diaspora, the continent, meeting in November. Amin is going to already break down those barriers. That's why the chairman is talking about this face-to-face. After we do the virtual quiz and all the different events, I mean, you're going to see a lot of actions, us on the continent mobilizing. The essence of this mobilizing is to give the young people the possibility to understand that they can travel borderless in Africa. Most young people always think that they have to relocate, they have to go to Europe, die at the Mediterranean by every means necessary just to make it. No. The essence of the network and going from country to country every year and doing different activities across the whole continent with the PLO Lumumba Foundation and the Pan-African Daily is actually to put this youth to understand that the opportunities on the continent is endless and unstoppable. So they're going to visit, we're going to visit a lot, not just only in conference, we're going to visit mines, we're going to visit rivers, we're going to visit mountains, we're going to visit all such, we're going to look at minerals. African children don't even know when we talk about minerals. When we talk about, our handies, we use cobalt. They don't even know what cobalt is. So the kids of Africa, and the youth of Africa, the people of Africa have the right to understand what minerals. When we talk about minerals and potentials, they have the right to understand when we talk about these big figures, how the population of their continent, their constitution, the ancient Africa, the modern Africa, how it all came about, the tribal relationship that has to be broken and every other thing. It can only happen, people, when we meet on a face-to-face. So I want to thank you very much on that. That's very powerful. All of you are just dropping. And all credits go to this chairman right here, Razak. I know this undefeatable one, never sleeping, all the time. Even he will give me sleepless night. Dr. Tatah, no, we have to do this. He doesn't take no from any person. So Mr. Chairman, I'm still coming back to you. But I have to get the feedback of Jethro. Jethro, you've been following up from Cameroon. And this final stage of all the African youths on the continent and the diaspora meeting November in Kenya for a face-to-face interaction, getting to know each other. We're going to be talking about business opportunities. We're going to be setting business plans and strategies. We're going to be doing a lot of workshops with you people. I don't know how long, Razak, we were talking about 2 weeks or 10 days or anything like that. But if the youths have invested their time, their transportation and everything, we should be able to really do something marvelous once and for all. So we're going to come back to that. Jethro, what is your feedback to the meeting in November?
Dr. Tatah, I think the meeting in November it's going to be a great one. First, adding to what Abbas, Comrade Abbas had spoken on, you know, one thing that we like Africans we really need, aside from making us love the continent, one of the greatest things which we need to do is seeing that we get to change the mindset of Africans. And it is
Yes.
only in such events, which we have that opportunity to talk directly to each other. Because to tell you, Dr. Tatah, the first thing that the colonizers had to succeed in colonizing us was by changing the mindset of our forefathers. And if you have succeeded in changing the minds, or succeeded in captivating the mind of a person, then you hold that person as a slave forever. So if we as Africans, if we cannot change our mindset, then it becomes very difficult. And I'm very much happy that my brothers in Mali, my brothers in Burkina Faso, my brothers and sisters in Guinea-Bissau and the other African countries, they have woken up. They are seeing that they have to. So the meeting come November, it's going to be a good one. From there, we get to see how we work on the mindset. We create partnership between African youths, because for us to grow, we need to be together. Not just being together, we need to partner. And in our partnership, we create business deals and all other things. We get to know each other. We get to discover new places. We get to learn how our ancestors or how our parents in the past were living. And if we get to do that, at the end of the day, you will see that our mindset, we will get to love our continent. We'll get to love ourselves, most especially our black color, because everything originated from the black. And if we want to love or want to admire the colors of the others, then we are already going out of context. So come November, we get to learn a lot and we get to partner. We build a lot of collaboration or networking, which is going to help us, the youths in Africa, and not just the youths presently in the continent, those in the diaspora, where they themselves will come in. And I'll be advising that they should turn out massively, because if we see China succeeding today, it is because they had sent people out of China. They sent their youth, went out, and they came back, or the China diaspora, they came back and invested massively in their country. And that is why you see where China is today. So I'm encouraging our own African diaspora that they themselves, they should be part.
Wonderful. I mean, I think we already grabbed that point. We grabbed that point. There's a couple of questions coming up, Chairman Razak. I think you'll be picking up at the end of the day as the questions are coming. Queen Sister Cheryl, who is a senior executive on the Pan-African Daily, is asking a lot of questions. Does each country has a chapter? So just note all the questions, and at the end of the day, we're going to get back on the questions and answer session right here. We still have a couple of 45, 50 minutes to go on this program. So please be patient. You have your questions you can throw in. And I also want to remind all of us, before I give the stage to the chairman, I see one of the participants from Banda is actually struggling. Elvis is right here, has been kicked out, but we're waiting. We are patient. Okay, even if you keep struggling with the technique, we'll get you. If we don't get you on camera, we'll get you on calls. You can also call on the WhatsApp number, and we'll be able to get your contribution right here. And the last point I want to remind us is our mentor, like I said, Professor Baina Bello is right here in the chat, observing you, listening to you, because like she is the senior executive mentee to all of us, the senior executives on the Pan-African Daily. So she's like the queen, she is the queen mother that is giving us what we need to know, and then we give it down to you people, okay? So she's also right here out of respect for you and your work and your engagement on the continent. So good. So Razak, I see your people are connecting now. Let me just take the ones that were not here, particularly the princess that are joining us. Melanie, unmute yourself and introduce yourself, and yes, and tell us about you and why, whether you are a participant or you are a mentee, or what is your role here on the PLO Lumumba Foundation, and which chapter are you representing, Melanie? That's what I see here. Over to you, Melanie. Unmute. Can you unmute? Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, good evening.
Yes. Good evening,
I'm
ma'am.
Melanie. I'm Melanie from Cameroon.
Wonderful.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot, and I'm so happy to be opportune to partake in such a wonderful like I'm just so
Meeting.
lost of words. I've been observing silently, though I was not contributing because I was not live.
It's okay.
So
Thank you so much, Melanie. Uh-huh. Are you a
I love
participant?
Yes, I'm a participant.
So what are you expecting from the quiz? What have you been learning? And I know you want to take the cup, the champion. So what have you been
Exactly,
learning,
ma'am.
Melanie?
Wow. Recently, I was on a pre-colonial Africa, the Africa that existed before colonial rule. So I happened to come across a lot of Pan-Africanists like Jomo Kenyatta, Julius Nyerere, and I happened to discover that I have been in Africa. I have been longing to go abroad, not knowing what Africa has to offer. So seeing people like them fighting for an Africa that has a lot in it, and then saw the need to love where I belong. I discovered I've been longing to go where I have a lot of things within me where I am, and I'm longing to go where those people are coming to find something where I am. So I am Africa, and I'm proud to be African.
Woo! Thank you, Melanie. At least my cup is running full. Our cup is running full. The cup of Africa is running full. I mean, we cannot just, I mean, really, like HKA is saying, real talk and fabulous. That's just the basic of what we want you to know. Running to where others are running back to you. That is just the main thing that Razak and the PLO and all of us have been struggling to put all this in just one sentence, running from your paradise where others are running to meet you right there. Thank you so very much, Melanie. And yes, so you continue study. We wish you a great time. When are you coming on? On the 8th of June is in the group A, Razak?
Exactly, on Saturday, 8th of June.
Wonderful.
Yes,
we are going
Saturday.
to be, yes.
For group B and C.
Yes, sir.
For group B and C. Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy. Yes. All right. So we're going to, yes, let me just stay right here, Melanie. I want to get Razak to give a rundown again of the groups that will be taking part on this Saturday. This Saturday, am I sure? June 8th. This Saturday, what time and what are the groups that are going to be competing on what topics, Razak?
Okay, thank you very much. So just to go over the event on Saturday. Saturday, the event will start at exactly 9 o'clock GMT, which is a competition between Group D chapters, which are Ghana, Gambia, and Cameroon. So Ghana, Gambia, and Cameroon will compete at exactly 9 o'clock in the morning AM on the 8th of June. On the same day, 8th of June, at exactly 1 o'clock PM, you have Group C, which is Sierra Leone, Zambia, and Uganda. Sierra Leone, Zambia, and Uganda. And they'll be engaged with 3 rounds. So round 1, round 2, and round 3. Round 1 will consist of speed test. So we will have 12 questions in which every competing chapter will be allowed to participate. Chapters that will be choosing their correct answer within the shortest time will be on top of the leaderboard. So round 1 is speed test. Round 2 will be true or false. True or false. So in the true or false session, each chapter will be assigned to answer a maximum of 3 questions. 3 questions. And the round 3 will be short answers. Short answers. Each chapter will be asked about 4 questions. So in all, we are expected to have 3 rounds. The whole competition for Saturday, Group D, should be lasting about maybe 1 hour or 1.5 hours. We are not expecting to exceed 2 hours. In the afternoon session, 1 o'clock p.m. GMT, Group C, which is Sierra Leone, Uganda, and Gambia. Same round 1, speed test, round 2, true or false, round 3, short answers. At the end of the event on Saturday, if we are expecting to have 4 out of the 6 chapters to qualify to the quarterfinals. And then the following week, 15th June, we will have the Group A and B. So we will have Kenya, Somalia, Rwanda, we will have Liberia.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Razak, I think, yeah, you're hanging out. It's okay. It's okay. We get it very clean and clear. The first group that is going to be participating this Saturday, as listed above, we're going to be repeating it. But I just saw, I think there's just a lot of them are struggling to connect, and yeah. Let me see if I can get him back live. Abubakar Jaju, I wish I could get you, but you no. Okay, let me see. Good. Abubakar, can you hear me? On mute? Abubakar, can you unmute? Abubakar Jaju, can you hear me? Unmute your phone. Unmute your microphone, please. Are you hearing me now, Mr. Jaju? Okay, I think Brother Razak is back on the show. Yes, go ahead, Razak, Chairman.
Yes, so my apologies for the network hitches. So next week, 15th June, we will have Group A and B. So we will have Kenya, Liberia, Rwanda, Nigeria, and the other chapters, and Somalia and Sudan to compete next week on the 15th of June. The areas for the quiz 1 will include the Pan-African history of Africa. So you have questions coming from the conferences that was organized in the diaspora. Somewhere in the 1940s, we have the conference, the first Pan-African conference, the second, the third, the fourth, London, Manchester, and the one that was held in Ghana. You have how the various Pan-Africanists moved to Africa to support the independence struggle. You have questions on the formation of the OAU, the Monrovia and the Casablanca blocks, the struggles and also the achievement of the OAU at the beginning stages. You have questions on independence, post-independence. You have questions on as far as the great empires and kingdoms that existed before the arrival of the Europeans. So you have questions that will be coming from the Egyptian civilization, the Aksum civilization, the Songhai Empire, the Greater Malian Empire. You have questions on Old Ghana Empire. You have questions on the Old Sudanese states. You have questions on the Berber civilizations, the Carthaginians, and the Ethiopian civilizations. So we will travel back in time to engage our audience that Africa was once a greater and powerful continent in the world. Africa once ruled the world. So we will engage our audience to learn about the empires that existed before the arrival of the Europeans. And also we will engage our audience on the partition of Africa, the Berlin Conference that occurred in 1884. And also we will engage our participants on the slave trade and its effects that affected Africa, as well as we will bring our audience to the contemporary Africa, which is the Africa we want. We will engage our audience and participants on the Agenda 2063 of the AU, as well as the current issues in Africa. For example, the current happenings in Africa, the elections that has been occurring in Africa, the various uprising in Africa, issues that are familiar with us today will also be tackled as part of our questions. So these are the areas that participants should expect questions from. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. I want to really have a quick information for our diaspora, particularly our mentors that are also here, the Chief Executive, Professor Baina, for us to understand this is just, let me just say, this is like a test quiz, because this is going to be the biggest ever competition worldwide when it comes to Pan-Africanism and Africa in the near 3, 4, 5 years. So what we are studying today, what these young people are studying today, is something that would be more than what you see the Olympic Games or the FIFA games or soccer games. This is going to be the biggest ever event in the history of the African people worldwide. So don't underestimate what we are studying here in a little format. And all these sessions, you'll be able to watch Pan-African Daily live as we started it today with our choppy microphones, with our small, tiny stuff to show how the Renaissance of Africa came back into the hands of the African. Exactly. Our brother Ernest Parker is saying is going to be a grand rising African academic Olympics, or the 10 gazillions run pyramid. Okay, so I'm encouraging every one of you to support this process, be there live. So Razak asking, is it going to be a televised, like Open African Daily, where they can watch these competitions or this quiz?
Who is that?
Yes, thank you very much. So the quiz will be streamed live on Facebook at the Pan-African Daily TV, as well as the PLO Lumumba Foundation Facebook page. In the quiz room, we will be using a particular quiz software or application for the quiz. In the quiz room, we will have only the participants together with their moderator and the other technical team members. All the other chapter leaders and the audience will join via the Facebook Live page. So we expect that all the audience, all the young people in Africa and the diaspora should keep note of the Pan-African Daily TV Facebook page, as well as the PLO Lumumba Foundation Facebook page, to follow the events live. So the event will be televised on these pages live.
Thank you.
Also,
wonderful.
Yes, and also they can engage with the moderators by engaging the question and answer session, by submitting their questions, by voting for the most promising or most engaging or most the most informed chapter through the live feed. So they can also stay engaged and they can also be part of the process, even though they will not be in the quiz room.
Wonderful. I think these are informations that we'll be repeating all along the show till Saturday. But the most important information that we want to get to you is that this quiz is already starting with the first group on Saturday. What time, Razak? Can you just go over that? We cannot wait hearing.
Yeah, so on Saturday, the first event, which will consist of Ghana, Gambia, and Cameroon, will take off at exactly 9 o'clock a.m. GMT. So 9 o'clock Ghana time, basically. So that will be around 12 East African time. It will be around 10 o'clock a.m. Cameroon time. So when you do the time conversion, you know the exact time that will be in your local time. So 9 o'clock a.m. GMT, competition will start between Ghana, Gambia, and Cameroon. At exactly 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock p.m., we will have Sierra Leone, Uganda, and Zambia. to compete.
Mhm.
Sierra Leone,
Mhm.
Uganda, and Zambia to compete at exactly 1 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon, 1 o'clock GMT in the afternoon. At the end of the day, on Saturday, we are expecting to have 4 chapters to qualify to the quarterfinals on Saturday.
I want to advise or to inform everyone that there's a lot. Like I've had more than 50 participants right here in the studio with me. Like I said, a lot of them cannot come on live because of the technical challenges that are following up. Razak, this is also one key point that we wanted to focus on to make sure that we're going to have a system that is free of all these, interference and connections that are coming up, and so that the young people would feel confident in their space to be able to express themselves within a technology that is needed. So I hope everything, of course, I know we are set for Saturday, just for you again. But before I get back to you, please, I want to bring Anna. Anna has been struggling. Yes, at least Melanie was here. I just want to bring the girls, the princess are on. You can see Melanie relaxing after digesting the ancient African history, like she said, like she's just like, I just chill. I know I'm going to bring back this champion to Cameroon by telling people that I cannot leave this beautiful continent for no reason in my life to go anywhere whatsoever except for visit right now. So, Anna, you're welcome, sister. Have you been listening to us? Can you hear us, Anna? Tell us who you are, where you're watching us, whether you're a participant, and what your expectations are. Anna? Anna, can you hear? You're freezing? All right, while we're waiting on her, Abubakar Jaju, can you hear us now? Abu?
I can't hear you properly, but I want to say that the Ghana team is ready for
Yes,
this
I'm hearing.
quiz. We have been preparing since January, and our team is well equipped to win
Yes,
this
Dr. Susan, I'm
competition.
hearing.
We are bringing the cup home, and then we are going for the finals in Kenya. We are so excited to meet our other competitors, and we hope to have a very tough quiz. And the exciting thing about this whole competition is that it's going to keep young people well informed about our African history and then customs and values. And we're going to network and interact. I'm hoping it will be fun and exciting. And more young people will come on board in subsequent years. Hoping to meet you all soon in Kenya for the finals.
Oh my God, Ghana is always so confident. Like Ghana just thinks that because Nkwame Nkrumah came out of Ghana, Ghana is always going to be the home of the civilized Pan-Africans. I love the spirit, Ghana. Go, 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 Ghana. Yes, we're here for you. But you know what? It's gonna really be a tough time. Anna, I can guarantee you it's gonna be tough.
Very, very tough.
Because, yes, because Anna was here
And we
and
are
saying,
winning.
Africa is winning, of course. Thank you so very much. Of course, I have to go back to Abbas. Abbas, you've been following up all this, and you hear your sister from Ghana telling you, Sierra Leone, hey, you better watch out because we're coming out at you. What do you say, Abbas?
You see, thank you very much, Professor. One thing we need to know here today is not all about boasting, it's about what you simply do, the impactation you can for people to be proud of you. And as an African, I would say it is not by any words I will boast, but like by my actions. I will be displaying on that day, but like I don't like to hype you because you know why? It is here. It is here. I don't like to.
It is here. Anna, are you ready? It's here. It's not in the, it is here.
We are well prepared, and I mean it.
That is the spirit, Mr. Chairman. How do you enjoy
We've
your
done
seat?
our mock over and over again, and I'm sure we are going to win this. We are going to have this show again, and we'll be showing our medals and our flag.
Woo, I love the confidence right here, Mr. Chairman. Is it because you are a Ghanaian and the Ghanaian chapter, or what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Though I'm
So,
the country director, I've been involved from the first day, and I'm sure that we are going to bring this
Okay,
home. I'm sure Razak
yeah,
believes this
thank
too.
you.
yeah. Basically, I can from my end, I can say that all the chapters are ready. They have put in much preparation. They are prepared to compete. So Ghana, Gambia, Nigeria, I can say Nigeria are also ready. Gambia, Sierra Leone are very much ready. Cameroon, Comrade Inze Elvesta has prepared his team. Zambia, Comrade Oliver Kapamba has prepared his team. Nigeria, Comrade Etop Nathaniel has prepared his team. Uganda, Comrade Moses Odike is ready with his team. Liberia, Comrade Arthur Waweli is ready. Kenya, Comrade Kate is ready with his guys. So all the other chapters are ready to compete. Sudan, Comrade Akoya Hussein. Somalia, Comrade. Yes, so Somalia, Comrade Atta Hussein are all ready to compete. So we should expect a fierce battle. Ghana, of course, are also ready. However, Ghana should expect not an easy battle from the other chapters. For example, the participant of Nigeria, Ali Suleiman, is somebody who is already into Pan-Africanism. He has a page which he normally shares information about Africa. Gambia, Comrade Ibrahim Aseka is a young Pan-Africanist who has been training his team for over a year. They have been having series of Pan-African quizzes across various senior high schools in Gambia. So they are ever ready. In fact, they have
I
already
know.
organized their internal challenge in Gambia, and they are presenting their topmost participants out of their internal challenge. So you can imagine they are already into the Pan-African quiz in their country. Same as Sierra Leone, our young comrade Bilkis Jallo, who is also working with the ECOWAS team in Sierra Leone. She has also prepared her team to compete. So all the chapters are ever ready to compete. May the best chapter win.
Wonderful, wonderful, Mr. President. Mr. Chairman, there's no better way. I mean, your team is ready. All the country chapters and their comrades and their commander-in-chiefs are already ready for the battle. And you see, one beautiful thing about the Pan-African Quiz is getting the young people to compete on the knowledge of how they want to see the Africa through the knowledge that they know about Africa. So it's not when we say it's a competition, like Professor Baina, our mentee, biggest mentor is saying, we have to, be in a healthy competition. It's not like that kind of competition like the word says. But I can feel this, the energy, the spirit of winning. Like, yes, I know more Africa than you. I am more African than you. And this is the spirit we want to awaken in the young people to be so confident and trust themselves in the Africa that they want, in their skin color, in the way they do their stuff unapologetically, in the way they understand the values of their culture and their spirituality and who they are. That is the purpose of this quiz. And like we said, it's going to be the biggest thing ever. If you've ever heard about Olympic Games or championships or soccer games, there is the new dream of the Pan-African quiz that we are starting in a minute format, but it's going to grow. Those of you that joined us late, the final competition is going to be a face-to-face, edition in Kenya, November 2024, and all of us are going to be down. We're going to meet each other, and yeah, Dr. Tatah is going to be moderating all the sessions, as you know, and we're going to be doing a lot of interviews all around. So we're calling on the diaspora to book your tickets already, all right? Make your travel plans for November, because we need all the senior executives of course, of the Pan-African Daily. That's not even something that we're inviting. It's a normal thing. Professor Baina Bello, who is going to be the chief executive mentee to rate and to give, is already ready. Professor James Small, all of them are already on the line of what is going to happen in November, Ghana. We are there to push our young people ahead and to say, here we are. Okay, we are here. We send you as the frontliners, but we back you up in everything. So, comrade, I'm just trying to see if I can get one other guest who is not struggling here. Apart from that, any of you that is watching from the country chapters that is struggling to join us, please. Anna, I bring you back on stage. You're very interesting. Jethro, I bring you back. Abubakar is struggling. I haven't heard from Abubakar. Abubakar, can you hear us now? Abu?
Yeah, I'm hearing from you now.
Oh my God,
Yes, I'm hearing
Abubakar
from you.
Jaju, just
I'm
tell
hearing.
us. All right, go ahead. Tell us about you.
Yeah, my name is Abubakar Jaju, the currently deputy content director of the Gambia chapter. I participated during the 2020 Medan Pan-African Quiz competition. I represented the Gambia chapter.
So, what chapter are you representing?
Gambia chapter, Gambia.
Oh, okay.
Currently, I'm the deputy content director of the chapter.
Wonderful. I know you are being interfered. There's a lot of interference from your side in terms of your technique, but I think it was nice just to hear from you as the deputy country director of Gambia chapter. Thank you very much. So you're ready you heard what the princess, the queen, Anna Nano, that's the Queen Zinga. I don't know whether it's Queen Mother Zinga, from Angola, or it's going to be Queen Mother Ya Asantewa. So what are you saying to that Jaju? Like, do you think she's joking when she said we're taking back this whole thing to Ghana?
Actually, she's joking because my people are set, and then they bring in the victory to the Gambia.
They bring in the victory back to the land of the Kunta Kinte, right? Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Sure. I just want to read a feedback comment from. Yes. I think I'm also hanging somewhere. Anyway, a feedback comment from Professor Baina is saying our culture is the natural generator of our industries and economics. Much love and keep on growing and helping us grow. I think, Chairman, that is for an input and a feedback and a quotation from Professor. As we move on, good. So I don't know. Yes, Jaju, you were saying something.
Yeah, I said because the victory is coming back to the Gambia, land of Kunta Kinte.
Thank you. Oh my God, there's been a lot of comments that I didn't see here. My comment box was freezing. I am so sure that you didn't think that I did not see that. Thank you so much. Okay, Anna, you're having a lot of supporters right here. And like WS Banker is saying, I don't think she is kidding. Anna is serious. This is a good competition though, right? Like, she's very sure. She knows that she owns Africa. Yeah, Asantewa. Okay. All right. And Millie is saying, I miss the children or the youth outside Africa, for instance, Suriname, Haiti, and so on. Yes, Miri, this is just like, it's just that maybe you join us late. Chairman, can you say something on that? Like the diasporans, kids and youth, but I think you said this is the first series and the other ones will then take the different countries. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. So we will
Because these are
have,
the groups.
yes, we will have a series of events which will be joined by our mentees and partners in the diaspora. So, for example, Haiti, Sri Lanka, Suriname, and then those in the Caribbean countries, Jamaica, Bahamas. So all those Caribbean countries who are in our diaspora, both will be invited to participate. So I will urge Mrs. Meli Oima to prepare to join us in November during the Mentees conference in Kenya. Afterwards, we will have several engagements with the diasporas. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's very important for us to understand that Pan-African Daily and PLO Lumumba is one Africa worldwide. One Africa for Africans worldwide. And you see our mentors, like the senior mentors, like the Professor Baina, Professor James Small, all in the diaspora and our senior executives on the Pan-African Daily and all that are following. Most of our viewers and our supporters are actually our siblings in the diaspora. So they're so keen on these messages that we are producing here. And the spirit of One Africa is what we are communicating. So this is just the first phase, and you can see the different groups as they are scheduled, because it's not a competition that we can do, all the world. That's why it's putting the different groups together, and eventually will be groupings, or even our migrant communities worldwide. So it's not just only the Africans are everywhere. Whether you go to India in the highest suburbs or in the urbans of any country in the world, you find an African, because of course, Africa is the mother of the universe, is the mother of the earth. So eventually we'll be building the sections part by part where we can manage. Okay. All right. So I don't know. We have a lot of time to go here, more than 15 minutes. I just wish I could get some callers that, Mr. Chairman, do you think some people that we couldn't get them on the show can call in?
Okay, so
I'm
I
really
will confirm from the
trying
group.
to get
But I think
the comrade from Banda on phone, because these are areas of Sudan that is very challenging in terms of internet. But if they can get us on WhatsApp call, I'll be able to. I'm sharing the number right here so they can call us live in the studio. Okay.
okay.
So. So you can join us. WhatsApp +1502 277 2094. I'm quite sure. WhatsApp only. I'm quite sure. So the other comrades can join us via their call to share this perspective, because I see a lot of them were here. Or DK is here from Nigeria. It's just a lot of them. Most of them are out. I still have Anna here. I have Abbas here, of course. Apart from that, all the others have struggled and they've left. So, but they can join
Yeah,
us,
I think
like I said, in the city.
Guma from Uganda says he's in the room and he has not commented yet. Guma,
Yes.
I'm not sure if he's still there.
Yeah, he's in the room, but he cannot. I can flip him on the live. I don't know why his camera. Even Odike is also here, but it's not possible to get them, so they can call in, because I don't. Their audios are not connected. Their visuals are not. Yes, Guma, I see you. Your device is not connected. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Odike, you can call in because you're right here. Odike, Uganda is very ready. We should definitely wait for the other winners in Nairobi, Kenya. So they're already ready that we're meeting already in November for the final competition and the face-to-face. So yes, that's already the spirit that we're seeing from Odike. Odike, he's here in the studio, but he can join. So of course, you can also post your comments. All the other country leaders, Nzi, Elvesta, your device is also not connected, but you can post your comment in the chat and we'll bring it live. Okay, so just keep posting and we're going to bring it live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have a feedback comment from Mr. Wambui, who is saying, yes. I mean, she's talking to Queen Cheryl to say, yes, we are organizing to network worldwide for group economics. The time has come. That's the beginning of the Africa we want to see. Thank you. Yep. So, reminder again, Saturday, for those that are joining. We cannot stop saying it all the time, Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so of course, Saturday, 8th of June, exactly 9 o'clock a.m. in the morning, GMT, the first event will commence, which is Group D. And we have chapters including Ghana, Gambia, and Cameroon to compete. Afterwards, we will have the afternoon session around 1 o'clock p.m. GMT, which will be competed by chapters from Sierra Leone, Uganda, and Zambia on the 8th, this coming Saturday, on the 8th, coming Saturday.
Thank you. We also see Justina Fanta. Which county leader is this? Mr. Chairman, Justina Fanta is in the group Z. Oh, okay. Wow. I think we can get her live. Wonderful,
Yes.
Justina Fanta.
Yeah,
Where are you connecting from?
To Sierra Leone.
Yes, we can hear you, Jacinta.
And I'm
Go
one of
ahead.
the- You
Yeah,
can hear me?
From Sierra Leone,
Yes,
one of the
we can hear.
participants.
Yeah, I'm from Sierra Leone.
Justina is my colleague.
I was having network issues, so I'm just connecting now. Sorry about that.
I like Sierra Leone. I love Sierra Leone. I love the English. I just
see.
love the accent. Yes, so just
Okay. Nice.
good. I mean, you have been following up the competition, and of course, Abbas is already here in your team. So, what's going to be happening? Are you ready for the competition? What have you been studying?
A lot, and we are actually prepared for it. And let's see how it goes. So we are ready, and we know we're gonna make it. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, Mr. Chairman, your country chapters are so awesome. Everyone is ready. Like, how long did it actually take for you to put out the curriculum for the study program? Like, how long?
Yeah, so this is the second edition. Actually, we had the first edition somewhere in 2020 during the COVID-19 era. So from that time, we have been finding opportunities to re-engage, to organize an event like this. So we have been putting together a couple of informations for the past 3 months. So the content documents was developed by a team of experts, a team of people who are centered with African knowledge, African community, core community information ideas, who are passionate about Pan-Africanism including Dr. Susan, yourself, including Mr. PK, including Kate, including Jerito, including all the team members from the head office at the foundation level who has been working tirelessly to make sure that this event becomes successful. So on the aspect of the participants, we have been engaging them for the past 1 month. We have been giving them updates and giving them preparations. I think this week, last Wednesday, we had our first test run to make sure that all the participants understand the feasibility of the quiz platform, to work on their network, to work on their connectivity, to understand the rules of the game. Hopefully tomorrow, God willing, around 3 o'clock p.m. GMT, we will have our second test run for the participant competing on Saturday. All is meant to make sure that our participants are ready. They understand how the quiz platform will work. They understand their role as participants and what we also expect from them, and also how they can compete fairly. The purpose of this event is not to compete aggressively, but to share ideas, to share knowledge, to demonstrate that indeed you are a young African and you have some information about Africa that you want to share with the world. So we should expect nothing but the best on
Wow, 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 wow. This is okay. As currently as we're speaking, I have a donor. I have donors that are already coming in and putting up a prize. And they're putting us a prize from the Pan-African Daily TV. Chairperson is saying, I'm putting in $1,000 as a start for the winner. I mean, just on this first already, on this first conversation now. So we already have the chairperson of the Pan-African Daily TV saying he's putting in 1,000 US dollars already for the final competition in Ghana. And we're also looking up to the diaspora and on the continent. I know there's going to be a lot. We're still going to come up with a lot of flyers of how you can support the competitions and the Mentee conference in Ghana, the face-to-face one, in donation, in kind, or cash. There's going to be a lot of events that we're planning on these sessions, and there's also going to be a merchandising on the ground. So yes, there's going to be a lot happening. I'm having a very positive feedback also from our brother Charles from New York. Brother Charles, we met personally, and he's also a youth on the Sons of Africa Foundation that is led by Dr. Leonard Jeffries and Rosalind, as well as the Professor Baina and the Professor James Small, all these freedom fighters and liberators and the voices of freedom of Africa in the diaspora. So Charles is actually, like the youth also coordinating all the youth programs. So you see, he's been like, we need to train them in organizing structures and institutions so that they work together in collaborating. And he also made a very important input when he said we also need to integrate programs here. We also need to develop the African personality into each of them to become the race men and women that Dr. Gavi and Nkrumah spoke about. So this is already the network that we are bridging, the New York initiative of Sons of Africa that are led by these elders, but also building a lot. I think we also have our brother in Detroit that is also running the Pan-African Center. We all know him. Very, very active. And I think these are all the initiatives and the partners that will be coming on board to join this Pan-African Quiz in the diaspora. And we have a lot of these initiatives also in Europe, in Germany. and in Canada, America, and China, all these Pan-African movements and bodies and initiatives that we're building, that we started building, of course, just 4 years ago on the Pan-African Daily and PLO Lumumba Foundation. We have to start networking and connecting. I mean, Mr. Chairman, it's going to be November 2024. Do you also see that we're going to be hosting also chapters in the diaspora? I think that's already clear. It's not even a question, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So all the chapters in the diaspora, for example, Finland, Germany, UAE, Canada, UK, they are all welcome, including those in Haiti, in the Caribbean, in Central Europe, in North America. Everybody is welcome to participate come November in Kenya, Nairobi. It will be a mega conference. It will be a convention actually of all young Africans in Africa and the diaspora to meet, to network, to share ideas, to learn from each other, to discuss what we have been doing in our various countries, and also to make a pronouncement on what we expect in come next year, 2025. We are hoping to extend the chapters across Africa, across all the 54 countries in Africa by the end of next year. And next year, we are hoping to have over 1 million mentees within our organization, as Dr. Susan, you mentioned earlier.
Wonderful. It is a yes. Oh, Minnie is also saying, I mean, we're getting a lot of positive feedback. Yes, this competition must continue. There is so much to learn. You can all agree with me, like we said, this is the time that we are stepping up for our youth. Instead of complaining about the leadership all the time, we have to just go on the ground and be doing the things that we do. And that's why you see Pan-African Daily is already on the continent and actually starting the work that we all promised to do. There's just too much to do. You can support if you cannot personally or physically be on the ground to engage on us, our mentees, the training equipments, even the softwares that we're going to be using for this quiz, all are stuff that we have to pay for. The coordinators, people like PK Kasurim on our social media space here is the ones, and with Razak, all of us are voluntarily working to save the continent. When we ask for support, we only need you to be able to give us the equipment that we need to be able to compete or to get the work faster. So if you want to make a monthly donation as a commitment, please mail us at panafricandailytv@gmail.com. Send us a mail. Don't use the PayPal. It's corrupted, as you know. All our source of normal donations have been blocked, and we are good to go in this way. So he who funds you owns you. We love Africans that are funding us, and a lot of young Africans are coming up, to invest and to support the PLO Lumumba Foundation and the Pan-African Daily TV in its work. So thank you so very much. Thank you. But everyone, thank you. Yeah, Ghana, you better stand up and take this one. All eyes on you, Ghana. You say now the competitions are coming. Please don't start that kind, because when Cameroon, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Gambia, all the countries, the Americas, the Caribbeans are waking up to say, well, let's see who runs and win this. I'm telling you, I begin to see a lot that is coming up. Okay, our brother Enes is also giving a feedback and say, I see a science foundation being born. Yes, brother, it is. There's just no way. It's the movement that we've been asking our ancestors, and everything is right here. So thank you so very, very much. Good. So I think, yep, we are top on time, and we're really good to go. I really would have loved to hear from Ze Elvesta. I really, even just a comment in the box before we round up, because it's not possible to have you, sir. Do you think it is possible, those that we could not make it today, even though we're having the second series of the political discussions with Comrade Al Wahab tomorrow on Senegal and West Africa? Do you think we can chip in and actually just do a very short recap again? Chairman.
Yes. Sorry, I missed the question. Can you please repeat it for me?
I'm saying tomorrow we have the second series of our lectures with Al Wahab on Senegal. It's a political lecture. Anytime you hear Al Wahab is here, it's always going to be a political lecture. Lecture so that Africans can understand the political landscape, and when they hear about elections and countries that are competing, what should be one of the things they need to know. I mean, I will really advise you to download the video that we did on South Africa and its election so that the young people can study that and, just to get a feedback, because we learned a lot. So what I was saying is he's coming on that series tomorrow on Senegal and West Africa. If you can steal some time, Razak, and most of your audience or the other mentees that could not connect, so I can do a 1 hour show with them, and I do a 1 hour 30 minutes with Al Wahab. Is it okay?
Yes, yes. So we have to make arrangements and check whether the time will be very feasible for everybody. Yeah. So, for example, 6 p.m. GMT will be good, because Al Wahab is somebody who is very inspirational. We all love to listen to him. He's someone who is very deep rooted in African politics. He knows how elections are organized in Africa. He knows how the various uprising has been occurring in some part of the Sahelian region in Africa, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. Yeah, so he's somebody that I love listening to him, and I'll be glad to join him tomorrow. So let's see tomorrow. Let's see tomorrow.
Thank you very much. So, yes, a lot of ideas are coming up. We're going to put up that, like Sherry is saying, the young people need to organize a fundraising. Of course, we do. We're working on those templates. And our sister Mimi is saying we have to do a raffle or a lottery. All those things, we're putting them in place to be able to raise funding for our events on the PLO Lumumba Foundation and Pan-African Daily. Because we have finally decided to say, whether come rain, come sun, this continent has to change. We have to give the young people the capacity, the education that they need, the skills that they have to know to be able to own the continent instead of just, as you know. So yes, thank you very much. Justina was still here. Where is she? Okay. Miss Banker, she's right here. Justina, everybody just still want to listen to you before we round up this conversation. Now, you're so cute and just beautiful, my Sierra Leonean daughter.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what have you been learning, as a matter of fact, Justina? What is it that you think, this is my sector and I'm going to hit hard? We've already heard all the others say, I'm learning ancient African history, or I've studied and I've known that the continent is more lucrative than going out. So what about you, my darling princess? Justina? Did you hear us? Oh, sorry for you, Miss Banker. She's just been thrown out. Yeah, she has a very beautiful smile and so beautiful in herself. Anna is saying I can back her up. Anna, do you want to help Justina? Anna is also freezing. Anyway, I think without further ado, I just had to wish if I could get Professor Baina to analyze this session, even on chart, if I think she left.
I can go in depth.
And that's my fault.
Concerning that, regarding that, the Malian Empire and a lot more. You get. So in that case, I've learned so much in that, and I love everything about it. While in it, I enjoy it and I love it, and I know it. I can say I know it to my fingertip. Yeah, I guess so. And we are ready. Sierra Leone.
my God. I love the accent and I love the way she was speaking. I don't know why she's just cannot make it. Oh, finally. Finally, we're going to get the comrades from Banda right here. Z, can you hear us, Elvesta? The
Yes, I can hear
fighter,
you. I can hear
the
you. 5 on
fighter
5.
from Abakwa. You fought and
Abakwa
fought
live.
and fought, and you were right
Abakwa
here.
live.
Abakwa live, exactly, my people.
Abakwa live.
Thank
Abakwa
you.
live. Good evening, dear comrades.
Wow. Yes. Go ahead. Just go ahead. We have all the time for you. The Banda board.
Okay, okay. Good evening. I have been following since 7 p.m. Maybe on a Facebook page because of bad network. I was not able to connect. I've tried like 10 times that I will get to the show, and I'm finally here. I am very happy to be among the generation that will be talking about Pan-Africanism, that will be trying to instill Pan-Africanism in the youth. Because many a time you talk to children, they feel like Africa, we have lost it, we cannot make it. So this time around, we are going to take it down to the classroom, telling the children that we have been robbed for too long, making sure that Africa stand up and take its place on the world stage. Because we cannot have a continent where everybody believes that Africa cannot make it. Another thing I want to point out is on the educational system. We must educate our children to first of all like to be a black person. I am African and I'm proud to be African. I am black. It's not a mark of shame. It's a mark of dignity. Once you're African, know that you're the mother, you're the father of the universe. Children must hear this. This is the type of education that we haven't been given. As we are learning it at at our middle ages, we want to take it back to the youth. And to the PLO Lumumba Foundation, I'm very grateful for the foundation because it is doing what many generations have not been able to do, making sure that Africans realize they should get up from the slumber and take up their space in the world stage. Another thing I also want to add is that as we have started this spirit of Pan-Africanism, we wish it never die again. That Africa has awakened, never to fall again. We are the generation that's going to change Africa. The generation that will sit and plan for the future of Africa. Not an Africa where we will sit and wait for the old parents or for our parents to do it. We, the youth, are going to do it. That is a promise. And back here in Cameroon, we are going to make sure that we take Pan-Africanism to the elementary level, nurture children to grow up in the spirit of Pan-Africanism. And also to the coordinator of the PLO Lumumba Foundation, Mr. Odu Razak, I'm very, very grateful for him because he has really, really prepared the event, everything, making sure we have the material to prepare and mentor other young people to join us. We are very, very grateful for him.
At least, I don't even know what to say. Razak, the chairman, has been, growing.
So instrumental.
Thank you. I'm so happy, Mrs. Z, that you're really here because I saw you struggling. And of course, I didn't want my Banda people, I'm a Banda girl. I didn't want my Banda people to miss out on this.
No, there was no way. There's no way we're going to miss out. There was no way we're going to miss out. I have been fighting since 1 p.m. to join.
Thank you so much, my people. Of course, finally, we are getting there. Like everyone that is supposed to be here is here already and has actually made their voices clear. So we're looking forward for Saturday. And Mr. Razak said, you're the champion of your team, and you're so prepared to take back.
No.
Yes.
We are ready to take the mantle.
Ready to take the mantle. We are waiting. The world is watching. Africa is watching on you, people. And I want to thank you. I would have loved to actually bring back the entire team that was here, but everybody's just out. I think it was just the right time that Ms. Nzea, you were here and you give a conclusion while we'll be moving on to to other programs. So I wanted to conclude on this, and we see us on Saturday. Elvista?
Okay. My concluding statement is that we at the Banda chapter, we are prepared and we are ready for Saturday to face the competition. We just pray that network should not disturb us here in Banda because we are here. At any given time, we can have a blackout without any notification. But we just really pray that Saturday works in our favor. And again, we want to see us move to Kenya come November.
Kenya come November. Thank you so very much. Thank you for being here. And we wish you all the best to all the teams that are participating on Saturday. It's going to be a one-on-one tie. As I know, it's like everybody's going to be winning, as we can see right here. Thank you so very much, and good luck to you. Bye. Bye. Okay, so thank you everyone that has been able to sign in today to just get a feeling of what is going on in the background, like we already said. We said it a long time ago that a lot is going on in the background. I used to seeing, and you already start seeing some of this fruit right now. So we want to thank you so very much for being a part of this program. Tomorrow we are also going to Cheryl. We are also going to have Al Wahab, our political correspondent, live from Ghana. And he's going to be treating the topic of Senegal last week, or no, not last week. He lectured to us on, yes, that was a Friday. We had a very beautiful lecture on the elections in South Africa. And we learned a lot on the formation, on how the politics is being managed out there. And one thing that I think those of you that didn't have the opportunity to be with us live, but to watch, is to actually study when he said the freedom fighters that fought for the liberation of South Africa are actually disappointing Africa. So we don't want those kind of statements or those ideas to repeat themselves. So that's why he's actually coming up tomorrow to lecture us on Senegal and the young leadership of Senegal, and how the Senegal is actually changing that face, exactly like we have also our champions in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. And making us to understand that Colonel Commandant-in-Chief Traoré is not doing a bad job out there. And so these are some of the inspirations that we're actually bringing these topics with the young people to be able to take it, learn it. So while we study about the general history and every other points that we're trying to make on the Pan-African Daily, another one big aspect is the political scene, which comes from the modern day Africa, and which was brought to us by the colonizers. So that system apparently, as Africans are saying, has not worked for us a lot, because the system of politics and democracy is actually new, and Africans are not new that they cannot study it, but they actually just feel it's not a part of their agenda, and they're not quite interested, as I can see, because the African is so super intelligent and knowledgeable. Democracy cannot surpass us. It's just that Africans don't want it. They said that's not our system of life. It doesn't valorize our culture, so we don't want to learn it. We don't want to be a part of it. And so you can say anything you want to say, like we are dumb in that we cannot manage our political systems, or we cannot manage our elections, or political parties cannot do well, or the leadership cannot, just because Africans don't want it. Africans wants to stay in their system, what they know, what they learn from their ancestors. And oh my God, Mr. Brown is saying good night. It's 11:18 in Uganda, where I am. Mr. Paul Brown. Woo! It's 9:19 out here in Santa Barbara, Cameroon. So good night to you, Mr. Brown. Thank you for being with us. And you've seen also your Uganda is highly represented, and they're going to be on the competition. And good luck to you out there in your new home, in your new spirit, and your new everything. I hope you're enjoying Uganda. I mean, this is not the first time. Last year, you discovered that I made it your home, and now you're actually back to reclaim what is yours. We're also looking forward to all of you diasporans, to begin to relocate, pack and leave. Pack and leave what doesn't belong to you, what is not serving you again. We are here now, okay? So pack and leave. Kenya, Nairobi, November. We're going to be meeting. Yes, Novia, I'm telling you, Mr. Brown is in Uganda comfortably, enjoying Mother Nature and everything, and his siblings. Of course, you're going to struggle a little bit to get on along with the mindset and everything, but when your heart already says this is where you believe, where you belong, every other thing is easy. I know. Okay, I know it. So I look forward, and I want to thank all of you in the chat. Mr. NS is saying it's 3:19 in Texas, East Texas, 3:19 p.m. in the afternoon. Yeah. In Cameroon is 9:21 p.m. So Snovia, what's the time out there? CNS. Like what's Mr. Wambui, what's the time out there in Kenya right now? Nairobi. Mrs. Banker, what time do we have there? Cheryl. You know, just to say, regardless of our time zones, we are connected spiritually. Africans, we have just one time, and it is Ubuntu. Yeah. I really want to congratulate and thank John Africa. Johnny Africa is actually one of our junior middle fundraiser, and here on the Pan-African Daily, and you see he's always posting on you to like, share, and comment, just like the senior executive, Sinovia and Cheryl and Ennis Parker. All of them and all of you that are actually stretching out to say, please make sure you click subscribe and share, but also to make a monthly commitment and a donation. So we thank you so much, John Africa. Kofi Azuma is one of our leading top sharer of our Pan-African shows. Like, even though he's a very humble and charitable person, and is always committed to support all the Pan-Africans that are doing, great work for the continent. Like he's always talking about our brother Wude Meyer, or he's always talking about Kevin's show. These are all Pan-Africanists, young ones like the Pan-African Daily TV that is actually contributing a lot in the messages of Africa. But he's also, because he's a Ghanaian, is always keen on the coming election. Of course, brother Al Wahab is going to slice that piece on piece. All right. I don't even bother about that, because the time he's going to touch on Ghana, you get the right insight of what is going on Ghana politics and how they're going to be operating in their elections. Okay. So Kofi, thank you very much for your big work and what you've always been doing here. Honestly, I would also not be motivated if I didn't have you always sharing the feedback. Oh, Queen Dr. Tatah, you're doing a good job. Oh, you look great today. You look beautiful today. Oh my God. I just feel like, woo, I don't know, a job that is more than serving your continent. I don't know, a job. And a lot of us are doing it in our various ways. Those that are in the chat, those that are supporting and investing, those that are taking up extra jobs just to finance Pan-African Daily TV. I'm always giving up a shout out to our one biggest big sponsor, brother Kwame Stevens Nkrumah, who is the silent voice behind and this young youth out there in the diaspora. From the time I said, it is time for us to start. He said, nobody is going to fund Pan-African Daily but us. And he's doing all his best and actually, you know, yes, supporting in every means that he can necessarily, just like each and every one of us is playing its own role. Thank you, John Africa. You see, Cameroonians, the great Queen has your back, of course. Bamenda people are coming on board because once we reach here, we start touching them. We're going to be doing a special series on youths and focus in Cameroon and those that are doing, just like in every other country, you know. But why Cameroon is a very strategic country in Africa, and Cameroon is called the continent. That's the slogan of Cameroon, the continent. So not just because I'm a native of Cameroon and that, but you're going to see a lot coming up in the series on Cameroon. And you would understand why during the Berlin 1884 partition of Africa, the Germans particularly, together with the Portuguese and the French and the Britain, four superpowers decided to chop this little Cameroon that you're seeing today. And of course, the name was never Cameroon. It just came from the colonizers, okay? So it's a very essential history. And to understand also the importance of Cameroon by knowing that the Bantu origins actually started in Bamenda. So the first human beings that ever were discovered by archaeologists came from Bamenda, from my town. So there's just no reason why we are not reincarnating into what we're doing today. So when I studied and I learned and I know my history, that I'm the Homo sapiens that actually originate the origins of the Bantu, it made me just understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, so yeah, thank you. Aminata says it's 8:25 p.m. in Sierra Leone. Wambu is saying is 11:26 in Nairobi, Kenya. And James is saying, oh, wait, so it's 12:12. At the end of the day, it's 12:12. You can also see that at the end of the day is 12:12. Thank you so very much. Yeah, wow. Ooh. That's what you see, Cheryl. I hope I could turn my back. I hope I could back up to see what is written on the bag. Yeah, so these pieces are going to be going out, okay? Yes, these pieces are going to be going out just for $50. Dr. Susan Tatah and the Pan-African Daily. But of course, we also have another one with all of us on it. So all these ones are just sample. This was given to me as a gift, as a matter of fact, you know. So yes, we're going to be having that. Jenkins is saying North Carolina, they have 4:27 p.m. North Carolina, okay. Oh, my sister queen, reparations from Ghana. Thank you. But I think we're going to make a lot of designs. We're going to be having a lot of T-shirts with our slogans, I drink water and my African business, you know, everything, our communications and also our own designs. And yeah, so a lot is coming up, our teacups, our baseball caps, or our African fabrics. That's what I love most, okay? We're going to be coming up with authentic and original designs and hair designs. As you can already see, my Bantu knot, I'm actually paying that allegiance. So like every month, Dr. Tatah is going to be presenting an African queen hairstyle. So that's how we're moving. We're moving so fast. We're actually moving so fast, okay? Yep, and oh my God. NS Banker, I live in Chimney Rock and 59. You see, please connect a lot. Just tap on the brothers and the sisters doorbell and say, here am I. You know, like most of us, you see, we connect on the Pan-African Daily TV, but maybe we just neighbors. That's how digital crazy this world is becoming. I hope being here doesn't mean that we're not going to know who our neighbors is. But if we can connect with our neighbors right here, you know, and we just chip in once in a while. That's still going to be a very marvelous thing. So thank you, Mr. Parker, for sharing your address right here. Honestly, oh, look at this. Look at what is going on here. That isn't far from S. Gresna and, oh my God, you see? People coming together. I love that. I love that. That's what it's supposed to be. Oh, the t-shirt is hot. Wow. Look at this. Okay. They're going to be coming. We also have some buttons, you know, like some buttons on it. You can place a button in it. And those buttons, those are all the things that we begin to do. We're going to get all these kind of, you know, designs to begin to start to raise money for our conferences and our seminars on what we're going to be doing with our million youths and women and elders and everywhere that we're going. We're taking over. I say it again. We're taking over. We've taken over. Now we just, you know, going into it. So thank you so very much. Oh, you like my Bantu knot. You know, in Bamenda, actually, the Bantu knot, I love the diaspora, because when the diaspora coins it, the Cheryls and the Pennies and the Mama Bellos, you know, and all of you, the bankers, when you coil the term, and that's what we used to look out for you. You know how when I was growing up, we called this? My mothers and us, my mom used to do that on my hair a lot when I was growing up, and we call it bikidi. That's what we call it. In the local, you know, Cameroon pidgin language, we call it bikidi. So, but later on, our sisters, you know, when they pick up their hair, their brand, and during the period of colonization and enslavement, and they trade, sorry, and they're tracing their roots back, they started, you know, to repeat this on the hair. And they just name it the Bantu knot, of course, because they came up from the Bantu knot. Some people call it the Bantu sticks here also in Bamenda. They call it the Bantu sticks. And I got this very beautiful one. They're going to stay as long as I want it. And then we're going to get another one. We're going to get a Ya Asante one very soon. Okay. What Rihanna has been putting out. So we're going to get a lot. All our queens are going to be represented with their hairs. Okay. That's what we're planning to do. And all of us. And all these designs, we're going to be so proud, so proud of ourselves. My children call them turtle bag. You see? Oh my God, Sister Becky. Betty said the children call it turtle bag. Yes, of course, because and some other parts of the way they call it the chameleon, you know, like the chameleon, the snails, or no, not chameleon, the snails. So yeah, that's how diverse, but that's how meaning one thing, but in diverse cultures and languages and how they understand it. Thank you so very much. Yeah. The earrings, they're just the spinning and, you know, gold plated from a diamond and silver that they're harvesting in Congo. It's really time we have to start consuming all these things, okay? It's time that we have to start. Yes. Learning back and enjoying our diamonds, our gold, our pebbles. Why not? We're as sophisticated as if how much anything we want we can be. We're royals. Whether we want to become so super gorgeous in all gold plated and what, it's all left on us. It's stopping us on that. I hear Brother Zay Toba saying, I've just learned something now that Bamenda is the origin of the Bantu Pay. Oh yes, of course. And exactly at the Mbu lakes that is called the Bafuchu land. That's where the first signs of human existence on the whole world was discovered in Bamenda. And they were called the Bantu people, who were known for farming, hunters, and then they started the Bantu migration. Study your history. When you read my biography, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm Dr. Susan from this. I'm just going to say I'm a Bantu queen and a daughter, a child of Bantu, and I describe all that, you know, from the continent. So, yes. So thank you, Bantu fashion industry. Of course, every other thing. Yes, from Bafo Chonzi. Yeah, read my biography, you're going to get all that. Sometimes we're just sitting on history without knowing anything with the origins. Just like we had the Homo sapiens from East Africa, from Ethiopia, and from all over, like we're saying, as that's spreading out into civilization. Why did you think that these four big powers decided, to petition Cameroon? Others were going, no history was even given where they went to other countries, particularly Africa. But African countries, which one? Like where I'm sitting, actually, I'm telling you, we had the first Germans that were here. And you can see their footprints. Most of them, their graves. Africa, his statues, the one that brought religion. It's in Limbe, just down beach, right? So all those footprints, we're going to be walking around and in Cameroon, just like any other part. So thank you so very much. I just want to round up without chopping your time. I like the way you like a village girl lady in the biography. Oh my God. That is one thing nobody should ever take from us, our villageness in us. Because in that villageness is how we have to provoke the world. When we intentionally use those words, it's actually to shame the so-called primitive world when they say we're village girls. Of course, I'm so proud to be one. And the time you finish reading it, you love to have been a village girl all your life. Okay, it runs in our brains and in our brains. Yeah, thank you. Yes, of course, we haven't been taught that. That's why the quiz and the competition that we're starting, because we all sat together with PLO and I said, how are we going to move ahead? Are we going to end on conferences? Are we going to end on virtuals, on Pan-African Daily? What are we going to do with the youth? And because we figure out that it is so difficult to actually pull this leadership the way they are, and we don't want to get into a fight where we put our young people, on always going out on these riots and stuff. I think we actually had came to the point that our young people are more useful instead of all these distractions and political campaigns, them going out to rebel or to talk about it. That's just a distraction. And somebody out there loves that. Because if the youth don't go to the street, there will be no cameras on the street to report about nonsense that we all hear all the time. Pardon my pidgin or my French, okay? So this rioting, pushing our young people to destroy infrastructures has never been the Bantu culture, okay? If we were busy hunting, farming, taking care of our villages and our communities, there was no way that we went on the street rioting for any reason whatsoever. Even when our rains would not fall to water our crops, our spiritual leaders went into consultation and libations and questioning the gods. What have we done wrong? And these gods were their ancestors. These gods were their hills, their mountains, their waters. Haven't we fed one another? Have I sinned against my neighbor? Has his goat crossed into my farm without me being able to recognize and pay compensation? What is it that I have done? What is it that we as a community have done? And most of them, like the women, particularly the women, they would undress and pour their self in camwood. Camwood is a particular, you all know all this substance when we talk about cleansing, okay? Most of them would put in a symbol of repentance and crying to the gods and like, what have we done that our crops we never heard about droughts, as a matter of fact, but we don't have rains. What is happening? Or there was no fertility. When there's no fertility in the land, exactly it's the same thing that there would be no fertility in most homes. So women that were not bearing children, what is happening? So they would just go back into the essence of life and question whether they are committing some atrocities against nature. That is who we are. And so there was nothing about this going to the street, pushing our young people. And when we went into this one-on-one conversation and with the leaders of today, that we say, what is the way forward? We just only knew the only thing was to give our young people what they need to know to be able to evolve. And that's the education of themselves and the potential of being an African child, the richest ever that has been instilled in them. Whatever they choose to do with their lives is their choice. If they choose not even to become the kind of materially rich world that we want, it's their choice. We want to give the African a choice to, I don't want to be this, I want to be this, but I have a choice. But the situation where we are now is not giving our young people or even ourselves a choice. It's like we are confronted. It is a must. It's like we're sidelined. If you don't have a job, so you are a dropout, you are useless. Whereas I must not have a job. I can just do my small thing, my farming plan, and feed my family, and I'm good to go. I don't need to ride a big car. But of course, I can ride a private jet if I want. Okay? I don't need to be, after all, gold and diamond and silver and everything is something I eat even. I put on the plate and I eat. So why should I be so excited about it? Skyscrapers, I don't need it because I have the tallest mountains and the whole building. What do I need a skyscraper for? But if I want it, I can buy one, I can build myself one, or I can just travel the world and enjoy whatever every other person can do. Now, why is everybody looking to come and sell me something? And they look at me as the biggest market. If they want to describe an African, they don't describe you as a person, they describe you as a commodity, okay? As a good, just like they did to our enslaved, or not enslaved, just like they did to our invaded and captured siblings, and they call them cargo products. It's the same thing. If you would analyze, and business economics is telling us all this jargon and the market share of Africa is developing. And we don't question what is the market share in economics jargon. Are these people buying capacity or a potential to buy? Now we are just cargoes, we're just products consuming. It's a market share. We have 1.5, all the 6 economies that are skyrocketing in Africa, 10 in the world are 6 from Africa. So it is just but easy to calculate the mathematics and say, so I'm just a rich continent. If all the world is bringing up, where I am presently in our studio, they're building the biggest China mall around here, and you have a lot of them. So how on earth, and these are luxury brands, okay? These are luxury brands. And you call Cameroon, for instance, Africa, a poor country, and you bring luxury brands, and they buy it, and you keep building bigger and bigger and bigger. So who is poor? Who are we creating jobs for when we just keep buying? At some point in time, call me crazy. At some point in time, I said, we just the richest. Sometimes we don't even need to go crazy, or we need to build our own industries. We need to let the world work hard and serve us. We have the potential to just buy and enjoy and entertain one another. But I'm just spinning. I might just be spinning, but it can make sense to someone because it makes a lot of sense to me. Okay. So yes, there's a lot that our young people, and you know what? I love, oh my God, our young people are just copying and doing the same things. Everything that we're teaching our young people to do is like copy a lot. All these malls, go there. How do they do this? How does upgrade this? And our young people, without even studying that carpentry or anything, they only, like somebody said in the group, like the Chinese, the diaspora went out. The Chinese always went out with their cameras. and they were snapping pictures. Like you have some companies, even in Germany, you're not allowed to enter with your camera because that's how they used to steal the technologies of the other cameras. But you know what? And some people are like, oh no. I said, no. Africans don't need no cameras. Africans see only with their eyes once, and they do everything with their brains. Everything that we've been able to do to set up a studio here or a residence or everything has only begotten from the locally last handmade, and it looks so professional and beautiful. And these young people have never gone to learn anything, and they produce everything. And I talked to one of them who did my mosquitoes, to protect it. And she told me, I said, did you learn this? How come you're doing this so perfect? Like, I mean, I can imagine a training in Germany is going to take you 3 years. 3 damn years to do just what you are doing. And he told me, I just grew up with it. I saw my grandfather and my cousins and my uncles doing it, and I just did it. Oh my God. I'm like, it's too much potential and too much, all that this kids, and I mean, from kids to elders to young people already know. Believe me, you are not coming to teach them anything. If you have the slightest idea of thinking that you're coming to teach anything to young people on the continent, the only thing should be on how he or she should appreciate what they're doing, because they just take it for granted, like, oh, I know it and I'm just doing it. But the only thing that they are not thinking is to put that value on themselves, like, wow, I can do it. Because even though he does it, but he's still looking at a Chinaman as if he knows more than me. No. And I said, no, just look at what you did and just look at this, unbeatable. So that technology that sometimes we're even saying, oh no, the Chinese are taking our stuff and they're doing this. I also used to think that way. But now I see it totally differently and say, get it and run with it. So the only thing that we need to know, like me, I'm conscious on where I put the money, what I buy from the local market and the local producers, really the ones from the urban. And I talk and I have a conversation with them. And you can see how you give it, no amount of work you give that you will not get. And they're so smart and so quick. Things that in the diaspora will order from Amazon before it even takes to come, before this and that. You can sit there and watch them doing it like you're part of it. So that raw talent, like Sherry, you're saying, must be supported, must be groomed, must be made to believe, yes, I can do it. I'm already doing it. So that naivety in them not being able to understand the greatness of what they do, regardless of how they do it, they still look at themselves small, is the only thing you can teach an African child. And that's what we're doing with these competitions and this quiz and the events that we'll be doing around the continent, just to make, and if they get this, we can go to sleep. It can be a good night. It can be a good night. Okay, who is saying Sinovia's husband is from Ghana? Oh my God, I'm sorry for bringing that here. That's just between you. So yeah, it is all that we are brought in the universe to do, just to encourage and empower one another and to say you're doing such a marvelous thing, because my eyes cannot see what I'm doing. I am only here to do what I'm doing, but I just don't know what I'm doing if you don't tell me. I can have all the talents in the world, but why would I sit to think that I have a talent if somebody doesn't tell me that? I just need just one little person that believes and know it and see it and say, girl, you're up to something. And that's all our children need here, even our elders. Most of them that I talk to them, I ask them, why do you want to leave? And you would realize, I had a conversation the other day in a taxi, just in a 10, 15 minutes, and I already got him totally converted. And he jumped down and thanked me and gave me his number, like, I never heard this all my life. just 10, 15 minutes is enough time for you to change a whole destiny of a child on the continent and his generation. 10, 15 minutes conversation. You don't need to go into ancient history and everything. I only ask. And the best way is just asking questions. He was like, oh my God, I want to go to China. I'm so suffering in this terrible continent. This and that. I left it. I allow him to talk. He wasn't telling me, he was telling somebody else. And later on, I was just like, why? Do you want to? Yeah, because this is, I said, why? You want to, oh, look, even the Chinese, they come here, they are better off than I said, why do you think so? Just a why, until he didn't even know anything to say any longer. And I said, just give me 2 minutes of your time. I'll give you a reason to go to China, but not in this kind of mindset of what you're thinking, you're running away from something. I said, have you ever asked yourself why China, with everything that you're running and going to, they are coming to your continent? Have you ever asked? He said, no, I didn't. I said, yeah, ask yourself. So, like I said, we can do a lot in our sitting positions. We can text a lot. We can use all our social media platforms, whether it's a WhatsApp, Telegram, or every other thing that is coming, ChatGPT or whatever, AI. In as much as you're passing a communication, it's good to go. A 10, 15-minute conversation can change the story of a whole African child. I also have come into families that are losing a lot of young girls. Girls that just thought, I can make it here. Beautiful, intelligent, smart, and everything that you can think about. I attended a funeral just 2 weeks ago here. And this little girl just thought that she has nothing else to get from Africa than to just commit suicide and die. Because of what? Too much ignorance. So you can save just one soul if you only make them understand that you are good and you're able and you're capable and you're already doing it. Let me show you how. Okay? So thank you. Too much big talk here, but we're rounding up already. I have 8 minutes. I don't want to cheat your time. And this has been a long one. We're almost hitting 3 hours because we started with the Pan-African Quiz on upcoming quiz on Saturday, and we already had a 2-hour session. So this was just our own. Okay. So yes, that's how it has to. Thank you. Return to the source. Thank you, Foley. That's a big fact by Amilcar Cabral. Everyone has to read that. Okay, you would understand that it takes not your money, not just your money. It takes just saving one after the other. Each one teach one. And this time we don't need to write books. This time we don't need to write long stuff. This time technology has facilitated us just to say something, and you save a whole generation. Okay? Yep. Tukupa Moja. Thank you, and peace and love to all of you. So we'll be live tomorrow on with Al Wahab, and he says it the way he says it. All of you that are interested in studying and knowing how politics and all the tricks, all the pros and cons, how democracy is just messing up the whole people who take a system that they don't understand and want to implement it to those that don't understand how it functions, how the whole confusion is. You ask them, what is it? Nobody's going to tell you anything, what they know or what they don't know. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna learn everything. An African is so fast, and to learn anything, even the democracy. If we want to do it, they will learn it and they'll do it perfectly. Nothing is stopping an African to know that. I'm long past that time where I used to doubt. Now I see everything. Everything is so beautiful. So yes, politics. No. So peace and love to you, my people. Beloved, we're going to see us here again tomorrow. Yep, with Al Wahab. Okay, I love you all, and I thank you for staying here. Thank you for helping me or for joining me, so that we can be able to play our part and our role and fulfill our mission and our journey on earth, just empowering our people. Okay? Yeah, they give you hope. And we get hope from them, as a matter of fact. That's the main reason why we're just existing and living right here. Kwaheri. Yes, Kwaheri, my sister. Okay? So we see us tomorrow again. Thank you. Good night. Bye. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tatah. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.